a beautiful morning to get out on Celina Lake, Indian-Celina Lake recreation area. It's kind of become my academy for bass fishing. My new technique today, this is my 10-wood dash cam that's being recorded right now with the audio and the video. I hope it's going to work okay. I can't be losing as many fish as I'm losing trying to go over and turn my camera on each time, so I'm so glad I got this. This will be filming all the time. We'll see how it goes. Beautiful day, 82 degrees, a little bit of wind, no storms. Let's get out there. Another successful launch of the Celina. It's amazing how that's become so easy to do. You know, launching a boat by yourself, it's no big deal. You just have to pay attention. Now, of course, on this little lake right here, it's pretty easy. Even Patoka Lake's not bad. But I'm sure if you were dealing with a river, a flowing river with a current, or maybe the ocean with some waves and stuff like that, you know, you'd have to really be careful. But here, it's not bad at all. You know, there's something always cool about being the first one out on the lake. I don't know what it is, but it's like, you know, you're not going to catch any more fish, anything like that. It's just, I don't know. It's just kind of exciting. There we got the Celina ready to go. You can see we've got some fog out on the lake this morning. It's just as still quiet as you can imagine. You can hear every little peep. Man, what a perfect morning. Still quiet, fog lifting. Got a white swan over here fishing. Wow, it's perfect. can't really even see the other side of Celina Lake here. It reminds me of being on the Great Lakes when a fog like this rolls in. This fog is incredible. I can't really even see the other side of Celina Lake here. It reminds me of being on the Great Lakes when a fog like this rolls in. It's just like, wow. The sun's supposed to come up right over here. I'm sure it's up pretty far. What's amazing is this will burn off in no time, just so quick. I get lost in my photography. I don't know where to fish or photography when it's this beautiful. Wow, the sun's coming up over here, just crashing right through this fog. It's so cool. Fish hitting the water. Just got to keep doing what I'm doing. Crap. Just had one. Dang it. Okay, not a bad start to the day. I actually had one on the line. I don't know. It seemed like he was on the line, and it seemed like I had lost him. So I started reeling, okay. Then all of a sudden he was on the line again, unless I caught two of them at the same time. Or I caught one of them, he got off. Caught another one, he got off. So I'm going to keep trying, try to get these babies hooked. Okay, I'm getting ready to throw a lure for the very first time. I actually found this lure in the UP of Michigan on the Black River. It was actually stuck in a tree. I was able to wade out there and get it out of the limb. I've never fished with it before. I've had it for a couple years now, just hanging on my shelf in the shop. It sounds like to me like this is one color that bass in the summertime may like to hit. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it and see what happens. It's about mid-morning. I have had several real strong strikes. I have not put a fish in the boat yet. Love that photography this morning with that fog. That was so cool to see. Now the day seems to be warming up pretty good. Seems to be wind in the middle of the lake in this little cove. I'm pretty protected. I'm going to throw this one, see what happens. Got out of here. Goodbye. Well, it's about lunchtime. I've got some real good bites, but no fish in the boat. So what I'm thinking now is tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead and camp at Hoosier National Forest tonight. And then tomorrow, I thought about fishing Celina again. If I can get on Indian Lake, I'm going to try it tonight and see if I can get the selvin to float. When I back the selvin in, it's got to be able to float off the trailer in order for me to put it in the water. And last time I tried it, the exhaust on the Liberty was gurgling. The exhaust was getting ready to go underwater, and I don't want to take the exhaust underwater and try to launch my boat. Water level was real low. Now, we've had a lot of rain since then, so I'm hoping that the water level has come up high enough where maybe I can get on Indian Lake. So I'd like to fish Indian Lake tomorrow. I always have the possibility of breaking camp early and heading over to Patoka Lake. I'm kind of interested in that too because I'm learning a lot more about my sonar and my 2D sonar systems that I have here, Humminbird, and I just like to kind of drive around the lake and just look and see if I can find these brush piles and trees and every fisherman that I've been following to see if I can follow his instructions on how to find this stuff. Not doing any good today so far. Like I said, had some strong bites, but that's about it. Going to continue on, see what happens. The YouTube channel that I've been following, learning so much, is called Intuitive Angling. The owner of the channel is Randy Blockett, and he is a professional fisherman, has won a lot of tournaments, and has done really well, and just so wise when it comes to bass hunting, because that's what this is all about. This is, to me, fishing used to always be you just go somewhere, throw a line in, see what you catch. This is actually trying to target these big bass. This is hunting like, I really compare it to like hunting buck or hunting white-tailed deer, mule deer, but you're hunting for the ones with the big racks on them when you're out here trying to find these big bass. But anyways, he made a comment the other day that made so much sense. And he said, bass fishing is the world's hardest sport. And I thought, you know what? There ain't no kidding. There is no guarantees about anything out here. I don't care how long you've been in it. Certain days where the fish are constantly changing their pattern, changing their habits. The weather conditions make so much difference. How much pressure that lake is being put on. He was talking about Table Rock Lake. Sometime this spring, I guess quite a few different organizations decided to have a bass tournament. And he said in one given weekend, there were 1,000 professional bass fishermen out there trying to catch fish. And Table Rock Lake is big. There's no doubt about that, but that is so many boats. And a lot of these guys got this new live scope and all this sonar and all this kind of this new age stuff that so much pressure is being put on these fish. Yeah, I can also just imagine it would be such a tough sport to compete in. You got to have a good boat. You got to have all the equipment. You got to have fishing rods, reels. You got to set yourself up so you can at least compete. If the tournament is a weekend coming up, well, they're already out there Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even Monday, Tuesday, just catching things, trying to scope the lake out, trying to figure out where the fish are. And in that way there, day of the tournament, the bell rings, they slam as fast as they can to get to those spots and see how many fish they can catch. A lot of them win a lot of money, but I guarantee you a lot of them spend a lot of money, don't get it back, and probably end up financially in pretty bad shape because it would be tough. And not to mention the pressure. Oh my gosh. I mean, I kind of feel it even today. I'm out here and I'm doing these films for you guys, and I'm trying to show you the beauty of Hoosier National Forest, Indian Lake, Celina Lake. But I also want to catch some fish. I want to show you guys some fish, that I can pull some fish out of the water. And so I start to feel a little bit of pressure there, but I can only imagine, if you spent $500, $1,000 for a ticket to get into a tourney, and then there's all these guys around you, and the whistle blows, and you go screaming off. Although I think they do them in stages. They used to just have one start and everybody went, but I think they decided that's a little bit dangerous, so I think you get to go whenever your number's called or whatever. I'm not sure how that's working. I wouldn't want to do it. I'm not that competitive. That would not set well with me. I just want to be out here doing what I'm doing here. Maybe get a little anxious because I'm not catching any fish, but I never know what's going to walk out of the woods, what's going to swim up, what's going to fly by, so I'm out here doing other things too, and it makes a big difference. I wonder if anybody's ever named this Alligator Rock. Sure looks like one to me. Wow, I just saw a creature I have never seen before. It had to have been like a moth, but it was as big as like a barn swallow. It was that big. It was burnt orange. It was almost going around like a butterfly, kind of flickering here and there and everywhere. And it came by. By the time I got the camera, it was heading the other way, and I couldn't get it in focus. But that was weird. I wonder what that was. I wonder if it was a lunar moth. I don't know. That was weird. I ain't never seen anything like that before. Wow. That's what's nice about coming to the wilderness. You don't know what you're going to see. For sure. I know I ain't seeing no fish. There he goes. This was strange. I dropped my anchor and all of a sudden it was just like something exploded underneath the water. That was weird. I don't know if maybe I landed it on a giant turtle or something. All kind of bubbles came up. Sure, one thing today, I sure have a strong feeling that summer is coming to an end. Here it is, mid-August, but the kids are all back in school here in southern Indiana. And you have the trees, even on the other side here, already starting to turn real light color. I'm starting to see some leaves starting to fall. I don't really see any fall colors yet. You just have a sense. And the lake out here, all the fishermen, there's nobody out here right now. You just have a sense that fall is coming in. Now, fall is my favorite time of the year by far, but it just doesn't last long. It seems like fall is the shortest season of all. It's been a good summer so far. Hope to continue that good luck right into the fall. Hey, here's a good example of outdoor people. How most of the time I find most outdoor people like this. Just a little bit ago, I got stuck on a tree. It wasn't a very big tree. It could have only been probably 6 inches in diameter, but it must have got right in the middle of my keel, right in the middle of the boat, almost like a perfect balancing act. So I took the trolling motor, and no matter which way I went, I was just doing circles. And I had it on number 5 and really putting the power to it. And it would go, but it would just go in circles. And so I'd go left, and then I'd try to go counterclockwise, and I'd go clockwise. And I kept trying it. Well, there's been a family out here for the last hour or so. And they were kayaking. And what I noticed is they're pretty far away. They're like where the swimming hole is. And I'm way back in this cove right here. But what I noticed was they noticed that my boat was going around in circles, and I noticed that they just stopped. They were heading back and they just stopped and they waited, and they actually started to make their way this way to see if they could give me a helping hand. And I thought that was pretty cool of them to do that. Well, eventually I was able to work my way off of it, but if I see them at the campground, I'm definitely going to thank them for that. I thought that was pretty cool. Outdoor people, campers, hikers, backpackers, fishermen, they're good people. They really are. Oh, fishing report. No fish in the boat, and it's mid-afternoon. Oh boy. All right, finally we've got fish in the boat. Yeah. All right, there we go. Bass number one. A lot of hits today, but this is the first fish in the boat. All right. Caught it on a little tiny spinnerbait, black and chartreuse. Fish in the boat. All right, buddy. Thank you very much. See you later. All right. That's a struggle. Oh man, I bet I got out here at 5 a.m. and it is probably 3, so you're talking about 10 hours. Okay, so I'm trying out my new system. I've got the dash cam set up right there, and so I should have that on live whenever I catch it. Whenever I catch the bass, actually catch him, I should have it on live on film, and in that way there I can turn this one on once I get the fish in the boat. That was my biggest problem all along, is I was releasing the pressure on the fish to come back here and turn this camera on, and I was losing so many of them. Actually, I have lost quite a few today already, but it's not because I was doing something like that. It's just I'm not getting a good bite on that little creature that I'm using, that little blue sapphire creature I'm using. They're not biting through it good enough to get a good bite. It's like they're biting the tail of it and then letting go. All right, fish in the boat. We got fish number 2 in the boat. Here's a big guy too. There he is. Woo! Now, buddy, go back to preschool and come back when you're a ton bigger. Don't bite no more lures. See you later. Yeah, little guy was aggressive. I noticed through here a bunch of them are little and they're really being aggressive. Hey, I was just mentioning just a little bit ago about outdoor people and how they're pretty nice and easy to get along with. And I just met a couple fishermen. They went by me, and I kind of yelled out to them that they were coming around the same bank or the opposite direction that I was coming. So I yelled out to them and said, hey, if you want, I said, I'm done fishing this cove. I'll go ahead and peel out to the middle here so you guys can come on through. And they said, no, it's okay. We'll go up the middle and then cut back in. I said, okay. Well, we got to talking just a little bit as we passed, and the one guy was telling me about, what he catches the bass on and what's his favorite lures and stuff like that. And I told him what I was catching the bass on, that the 2 bass that I've caught so far. And so that's pretty cool to run into people like that. And, there's only so many people that fish this lake here. And even though, I say it kind of gets crowded, still, it's a pretty good sized lake. And it's pretty cool to share information like that. So just because I'm catching them on a chartreuse and black small bayou spinner doesn't mean he's going to. And he may turn around and catch it on his Cinco. So hard to say what's going to happen. Whoever you were, I appreciate it. You had a nice looking boat. I hope you guys do very well today. All right, fish number 3 in the boat. Fish number 3. Boy, I tell you, when you use the smaller lures, you get the smaller fish. Here we go. Yeah, the smaller lures bring the smaller fish in. It's the way it goes. All right, thank you, buddy. I'll see you later. Grow up. You'll make it. Oh, he shot off like a bullet. All right, fish number 3 in the boat. Ghost hunters. Sounds like Black Hawk helicopters going by. Okay, that was a pretty good day out on the lake. Ended up putting 3 bass in the boat. Ended up catching the fourth one was right there at the water edge, and it spit the hook out or spun and the hook come out of its mouth. So it was a pretty good day. Voice took a killing, not having any drinks out there except for a little bit of water I had. Not going to make that mistake again, guarantee you. Here at Hoosier National Forest, North Face Campground. I'm setting camp up just before it gets dark. You can see I've got about probably about 30-40 minutes before it gets dark. The plan is to try to go to Indian Lake in the morning, see if the selvin will float off the trailer because the lakes are higher. If not, if I can't float the boat off the trailer, I'll just have to make that decision. Do I want to go out on Celina again and challenge Celina one more time? Or do I want to go to Patoka or just head back to the cabin? We'll make that decision. All right, glad you came along. You can tell it's getting dark. Gonna go ahead and finish setting camp up. I don't think you can see it very well, but there's a little kitty cat sitting right there by the tree. Hello, kitty cat. Probably wanting to know if I'm going to bring it some fish tonight. And as that seemed to me, like like an old halo.